So say for instance, this is the assessment task. So she's talking through the outcomes. She's talking through the due date, talking through how many lessons in class that they may receive to work on the task. She's talking about the type of assessment it is, so the nature, the submission requirements, then unpacking what the students need to do and the outcomes associated and the criteria. And what she's doing is using this as a tool for the English faculty meeting to try and get a sense of, is there consistency across the English faculty in terms of unpacking an assessment task. So she's actually going to ask for critique of her way she unpacks a task. She's going to say, well, is this a consistent approach across our KLA? You know, she was saying possibly not at the moment. Like she's saying some people might spend 5 minutes on it, some people might spend a whole lesson unpacking a task. So is there consistency across the English faculty around unpacking an assessment task? And she was then going to, in the faculty meeting, which I'm going to, put together a Google Doc, almost like a procedure for unpacking a task. Now you sort of might think, well, that's sort of telling people how to suck eggs. She wants that consistency across the the English faculty, and using this tool, she's able to do that. The other way of doing it would be if I'm talking through this, I'm explaining it. You could download this as a video file, and that way then you could share it via Drive. So that provides that, I suppose, extra level of security. So that's one way of doing it, and you could then embed it in your the English Google site, or so there is. It doesn't necessarily have to go straight up there public, but again, like one of the things is, if you're a member of professional associations and English ETA, whatever, they're using these tools to share resources. So I suppose conscious around the fact that there are these tools for sharing, and if it's good quality work, then it's it's good to get it out there. So okay, so we've just looked at YouTube web capture as a way of students producing a piece of work. They could go in and record themselves an explanation of something, and the question has come up, well, how would students submit this to their teacher? So I've just gone down to the share, the share part of YouTube, and each YouTube video has a unique URL which takes you to that video. Now, because our video is unlisted, students would need to submit this link in order for the teacher to see it. Now, some would say, well, why don't I just get them to email me? So you would be getting potentially 25 emails with all the URLs, and that would work for you, but not manageable if you were marking a whole cohort of work, for instance. So one of the suggestions that I'd make would be to use a Google form, and Google Forms, I think, have great potential in terms of a whole lot of different areas with the curriculum, but I'll just step you through the process. So you can see I'm in Google Drive here. I'm going to create. I'm going to form. And if you just create it natively in your Google Drive, it won't ask you to share it. Let me just create it there. Okay. So it comes up with a title and a theme, and I might say Year 9 Advertising Submission 2014. And you can choose different themes for that, so I'll just go with this one. Choose OK. Alright, so at the moment we make sure, if we're using it with students, those top 3 boxes are unticked. We don't want it to collect logins, that's for staff, so we'll just leave those unticked. And you might say the first question is, please record your name in the space below. Now, by default, it comes up with a multiple choice question type, okay, where you could have A, B, C, or D. We're simply asking them to put in text, Okay, so their answer will go there. I'm just going to type in, I'm going to make that a required question. Okay, so please record your name in the space below. I'm going to add an item here, and I'm going to choose a list. So please select your class teacher from the list below. So who's the Year 10 English teachers?
Craig, myself, Artemis, me, Rory.
What's Rory's name?
Mr. Kylie, K-I-E-L-Y.
K-I-L-E-Y. Yep.
And Miss Theodorus.
Ross.
Yes.
Yep.
IS.
IS.
Yeah.
Okay. So we can go back and change that. If I hit done, then that will be a drop-down list. And if I add a final item, it might be copy and paste your YouTube
That's much better.
URL to submit your final task. And in the help text you might say, note, uppercase, please make your videos unlisted as per the task instructions. And you might even create a little screencast of how to do that, so which is on the task. The kids know, everyone gets the same message. This is how you make it unlisted. This is how you submit it. Okay. So once that's done, I hit done. This is what we call the form design view. Where is it currently saving? It's saving in your Google Drive. There it is there. What it's also done is created this other file called Year 9 Advertising Submission 2014 Responses. Okay, so this is the form. This is where all the data goes.
Yep.
Okay, so going back to then my form, how would you get this to the students? Well, you can send them the form via email, so you could provide,
Staff and students.
so we could put our teacher dashboard class email address in here, or in the task we could literally just provide a link to the form. So if I hit view live form, this is what it looks like. Okay, so what I'm going to get you to do for the moment, I'm going to email you this form. I want you to fill it out, copy and paste your YouTube URL into this form, and I'll show you then how easy it is to access all that information. So you might say, prior to coming to class on Turnitin Tuesday, by this time, by 8:30, all of the URLs need to be submitted in the form that was emailed to you. Okay, now you recall that when I was creating my form, I went to view live form, I sent form, right? You can see here there are options. There is one called that's view responses. Okay, so this will take me to that spreadsheet back in my Google Drive called Year 9 Advertising Responses. Okay, at this point I'm not accepting any more responses, so I'm going to click on that. So the form's been turned off. If any kid tries to submit late, sorry, it's been turned off. They won't be able to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, they need to come to you and sort themselves out, right? So now, as I might be coordinating the task, I want to ensure that every kid has submitted. I click on View Responses and look at what we have right here. We have a spreadsheet that is time and date stamped. We have the student's name. Mel's submitted twice, so she's going to get double the amount of marks. Now, this provides an opportunity I could record comments next to each particular student's piece of work. I could record marks if I wanted to. I could share this spreadsheet, because that's all it is, it's just a spreadsheet
Yeah.
with every Year 9 English teacher, so
Yeah.
they could go in and read some of the comments and even suggest, I believe you're a bit harsh on this, let's have a discussion around the criteria
Yeah.
on this particular one. But what I really love about it is you click on this,
It's all
it
there.
takes you straight to the YouTube video, away you go.
In terms of marking as well, could you do that sort of mail merge thing too, where if you put them there, it comes out? Yeah, okay.
We go there, there's Craig's one, I'm going to mark him now. Using.
Oh, mate, that's 10 out of 10.
For Dickie.
Oh, he's very sensitive.
Not at all.
Can you see value in that?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've used this just as a creative writing
Yeah.
tool as well. Like, go to the form,
Yeah.
here's your sentence starter, or here's your story starter,
Yeah.
away you go. And they're literally just typing in the form, they hit submit, you've got all the work in the one place.
Can I think about your year, I know you're not devising the Year 9 unit on advertising, but I think you are, Mel, you're in that anyway.
Yeah.
Think about using that to collect survey data when the kids are